I'm going to tell a story now. Jack was born into the pirate's life. His mother was a pirate. His father was a pirate. His big sister and his big brother, they were both pirates too. Pirating was the only thing that Jack knew, and he wanted to be the best pirate that he could be. But there was a problem. Jack was the littlest pirate of all, and he could not always do all the things that all the big pirates could do. When they'd be climbing up into the rigging of the ship, Jack would often get stuck, and he'd have to ask for help. When they'd be paddling their boats, he'd get tired, and someone else would have to take over. And the captain was always getting upset. He would always be barking at Jack. "Jack, get out of the way. This isn't a job for little pirates." That's what the captain would always say. But the other pirates, they would always say to Jack, don't worry, Jack. Soon enough, you'll be a big pirate like us. And then you can do all the things that we do. Soon enough. Well, Jack didn't want to wait that long. He wanted to be a big pirate right now. One day, everything changed. Everything changed one day when the ship was in port. And the first mate was walking through a marketplace where there were bananas and mangoes and pineapples being sold. And on one merchant's table, he came upon a map. It was a wrinkled up and crinkled map. And on that map was a secret island with a big black X drawn across the middle of the island. And he knew X always marks the spot where treasure is buried. So he bought that map, and he took it back to the captain aboard the ship, and they looked it over. Well, the very next morning, they set course sailing straight for that island. It took days and days to get there, but soon enough, they found the secret island. It was a barren, empty desert of a shore, with big cliffs rising up. And all around that island, there were rocks and reefs. So it was too dangerous to bring the ship near shore. They would have to use their boats. The captain called for all the biggest and strongest pirates. But Jack wanted to go too. The captain looked right at him. "Jack, this isn't a job for little pirates. This is a job for big pirates." But the biggest and the strongest of all the pirates, a man named Morgan, said to the captain, "Captain, Jack's little. He'll fit in the boat without any trouble. Besides, Captain, we'll need every head when we find all that treasure." At last, the captain agreed. "All right, Jack, you can come with us, but don't you get in our way." The pirates all crammed themselves into their boats. They were squashed together, packed tight as they rowed toward shore. When they got to shore, they would have to climb up those cliffs. And so Morgan, the biggest and strongest of all the pirates, he took a rope over his shoulder and he started climbing up the cliffs. It was very slow going, hand over hand, 1 foot at a time. Every move he made pebbles and dust rain down from the cliff. But finally, he reached the top. And he tied that rope around a tree. He threw it down for all the other pirates. One by one, they climbed up. Then it was Jack's turn. He started climbing up, but halfway he got tired and couldn't climb any further. He called for help, and Morgan shouted down, "Don't you worry, Jack. You'll hold tight to that rope." And then all the pirates began to sing and chant. Sing with me now. "Hi, hi, ho! Hi, hi, heave! Hi, hi, ho! Hi, hi, heave!" And they hauled, and up came Jack, holding on to that rope. The captain looked right at him. "Jack, I told you not to get in the way. You're slowing us down." The pirates stormed off into the jungle that led to where the treasure was hidden. Morgan put his hand on Jack's shoulder. "Don't worry. The captain doesn't mean it." But Jack was pretty sure the captain did mean it. Well, all the pirates followed the captain till they came to a cabin in the middle of a clearing at the center of the island. And they thought certainly the treasure must be hidden inside that cabin. They burst in through the door. The cabin was empty. There was no treasure to be seen anywhere. So they searched around, and behind that cabin, they found a well going deep into the ground. "You think the treasure could be buried down there at the bottom of that well?"
No.
There was only one way to be sure. They'd have to go down there. The captain tried to fit down, but he was too big. The well was too small for him to fit down. Morgan tried, but he was too big as well. Each and every one of the other pirates tried, but it was too small for all of them except the littlest pirate of all. Jack could fit. He was worried that maybe he'd get down into that well and he'd get stuck. "Don't worry, Jack," said Morgan. He tied his rope around Jack's belly, and together all the pirates lowered Jack down into that well. And when he reached the bottom, he did not find a single drop of water. Instead, it was a mound of coins. He filled his pockets till they were nearly bursting. Then, with another hi, hi, ho, hi, hi, heave, hi, hi, ho, hi, hi, heave, all the pirates hauled Jack up that well. And when they saw the coins that he had found, they all grinned with delight. Time and again, Jack went down into that well, bringing up pocketfuls of coins until every last coin had been brought up. And then the captain turned to Jack. "Jack, I told you this was a job for big pirates, not little pirates. I told you not to get in our way, and I told you were slowing us down. Never before has a captain been so wrong. Come here, boy." And with that, he threw his arms around Jack and gave him a big, big pirate hug.
What?
And from that day on, Jack never worried about being big or little. All the crew had learned that day. It doesn't matter whether you're big or little, there's room in this world for pirates of all sizes. The Littlest